What's up, world? Welcome back to another episode of the MITM Club Podcast, where we unlock success daily by journeying through the 6 pillars. I'm your host, Ty Aarons, and today we're going to be talking about your past and assessing your past to know how we got here. Knowing where you came from is such a vital aspect to being able to plan where you're going to. I'm coming from over a decade of being in the fitness industry. And what we do with every single one of our clients is we do an assessment. First, we want to know, hey, what is your family background, right? What are some health complications that your family had? What are some great things health-wise that your family experienced? We want to look at what type of food do you eat? What kind of environment are you in? What is your physical activity level? We take an assessment so we know what caused you to get to this point. Now, a lot of my clients aren't fully aware. Actually, I have this written down. I have this all written out. I'm gonna share with y'all's exactly how we do it and exactly how I built this out to really help folks be able to do that self-assessment in a way that'll really make a change in their lives. Okay? So when we look at your past, you want to look at your lifestyle. What was your lifestyle like? What was your family's socioeconomic status? Where did you come from? Did you come from a house of many kids or no kids? That's going to shift and shape the type of person you are. Maybe you're very giving, maybe you're very selfish, I don't know. And depending which household you came from, it might elevate things more so than not, right? In your past, what was your education like? When did you start reading and writing? What courses did you excel in? Are you the person that loves spreadsheets? Or are you the person that loves to be physically active? Or are you someone like me that's a little bit of both? Or are you more of an auditory learner or a visual learner or a kinesthetic learner? What are the ways that you found yourself being the most successful? And this is what we're trying to figure out when we look at our past. I want you to look at your parents. Really look at your parents. Really study who they are, because you are just an amalgamation of the two of them. The craziest thing happened to me this week. I was talking with my dad. I was talking with my dad, and he was telling me how when he runs events, you see, my father and I, we run comedy shows here in Toronto. We just did a show the other day on one of Toronto's very luxurious rooftop venues. And I was talking to my dad about these shows and what it's like to put on shows and events for people. And he was telling me, more times than not, when he's running shows, he doesn't really get to see the people or interact with them. But you know what? The thing that he really enjoys is bringing people together, making sure they're having a good time, making sure everyone is blessed and taken care of. And he doesn't really get a chance to talk to people too much. At most, if he's passing through, he just wants to make sure, hey, you good, you're okay, can I get you anything, make sure you're taken care of, da. And I had the exact same conversation with one of my friends, verbatim, like literally word for word, not even a week prior, where I was telling me, yeah, I love putting on shows, but even though I put on all these shows, personally, I'm not that much of a social person. People think that I am because I run all these events. I run beach parties. I run comedy shows. I run day parties. I've been doing it for almost as long as I've been a personal trainer and a fitness instructor and a health coach. But verbatim, my father said the same lines that I was saying. And it really made me realize, oh, we're the same. That's interesting. I was talking with my mom one day, and I thought that I came up with this thing by myself where in my mind I created these different boxes in my mind to help me really flush out my ideas or to get control of my thoughts. And so what I did is I took all these different ideas and I visualized boxes and I put them in different boxes in my mind so that I can go back and go into that box and find the information that I need. I was inspired from a book called The Name of the Wind when I was in college to do that. To actually go into my mind and make different boxes in my mind with the different concepts so that I can then hold multiple ideas in my mind at the same time. And I was talking to my mom about one of my business ideas, and she was telling me, I'm gonna need you to either draw that out for me or I need you to just go a little slower because I build up my ideas by putting different boxes in my mind. My mind was blown. I didn't realize how similar I am to both of my parents, where there's these aspects of who I am and how I navigate through this world that is the same as them. Literally the same. So as a part of your assessment, you should look, and this, you want to see what trajectory your life is going to take? You should look at your parents. You should look at your parents and see what skills they had, what skills they didn't, what things that they were great at, what things they were terrible at. And then do a personal reflection and say, hey, what skills of my parents do I have that are great? What skills and habits and whatever of them do I have that are bad? And how are they going to affect my life? That's an assessment that I found really interesting when I started doing that for myself. Like, I didn't think about that for all these years. And literally, I'd say in the last year, I started exploring that and really diving deep with that. Next thing you want to look at are your skills. What skills or what things in your past as you were growing up, what things did people really praise you for? What are the things that they said, hey, we noticed you're really good at X or you're really good at Y and Z? What, did you win any trophies as a kid? When you had your report card, did your teachers ever say, hey, this is something that really stood out for little Johnny or little Susie or whatever your names are? What are skills that you have? Or even look at what are things that in the past that you would start and just get lost in and lose track of time and have a blast doing? What are those things in your life? Because if you're able to actually look and uncover those things, you may find that your hidden talent, your unique skill, your unique thing that no one else in the world can do is there and it's been waiting for you. For me, I'm the oldest of 11 kids. Being the oldest, I don't know if any of you else have siblings, but the way that it goes more times than not in so many households is that the first oldest kids help raise everyone else, okay? You get all the discipline, you get all the structures, you get everything. You're supposed to help everyone else make sure they're good. Because of that, I'm amazing at project management. I'm amazing at delegating tasks. I'm amazing at seeing the bigger vision and getting people in order and organizing them to make sure they do their parts so that the bigger picture is realized and actualized. And this is because of where I came from, because of my background. When I look and assess myself, the skill was developed from as young as I can remember. Simple things is, hey, we got chores to do. You're in charge of making sure all the chores are done and then take care of your section. It's project management and people management. I had no idea and I didn't think of it like that until recently. But it's a skill that I have intrinsically in me because of the years and years of helping watch over the folks around me. And I'll get lost in creating all the plans and make sure everything's going according to plan and everything else. But what are some skills for you that you may not be overtly aware of? What are things that just come easily to you that other people are frustrated with, other people get upset with and can't stand? What are things like that for you? What are those skills? Then I want you to look at what are the hobbies that you had in the past. What were things that just ignited that fire inside of you, made you excited to be alive, made you grateful to be here on this planet Earth? What are the things for you that really brought out that inner child? What were your hobbies and things that you love to do? And the last one that I want you to look at and think about, the last one I really want you to think about are the barriers that you've had to overcome or the barriers that you still have to overcome. What are those for you? What are the barriers in your lives? All right? And this is what you do to do your assessment of your past. This is at least how you will start your assessment of your past. And when you look at all of these things, and I'm just referring to my notes real quick, when you look at all these things, you will now know what made you you. What made you the you that is here right now? What are the things that made you successful? What are the things that made you fail? What are the things that helped you or hindered you and everything in between? What made you you? We want to look at the external and internal circumstances that got you here, the positive things and the negative things. And what you want to do from that is to say, how much things do you have to unlearn? How many things do you have to get rid of out of your life now? How many things do you have to unlearn? And really dive deep into that. Because right now, you're like a block of marble. Beautiful, pristine block of marble. But you're just a chunk of marble. And we're going to start chiseling away at the marble to really show what you could potentially be. So with that being said, that brings us to the end of today's episode of the MITM Podcast. Remember, do an assessment, look at your past, see what brought you here now, positive, negative. What do you need to cut away and cull away? And what things do you need to develop out further and really strengthen? And that's pretty much it for today's episode. And I will see you tomorrow. Peace.